Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, these guys are at it again, and it here means a little regime change through a spontaneous, or maybe not spontaneous, organized march in Budapest against the Prime Minister Viktor Orban, elected, I think 5 times, 6 times, by the will of the people. Well, I like the right to protest without consequences, obviously. And obviously, if you act stupidly in accordance with the law, you should be, detained and questioned and then whatever punishment if you act, violently. I'm all for freedom of speech, all for it. I would just infringe it, let's use it this way, maybe, in threatening, obviously, and in inciting to violence, this kind of speech. Everything else, I would not even put into consideration so-called hate speech. I can hate how much I want. As long as I don't do something, I don't incite, and I don't threaten. Good? All right. What do we have here? We have tens of thousands march in Budapest against Orban. Well, I'm all for it. But once you start to read deeper, you're going to realize maybe who is behind this. And we have some names, we have faces. So let's go with the articles. Or article in this case. Reuters. Tens of thousands march in Budapest against Orban. Okay, well, good for you. Good for you. Here they are. Tens of thousands protested against the government of Viktor Orban in downtown Budapest on Saturday, led by a lawyer formally close to the administration who recently launched a political movement that aims to challenge the prime minister. And I have a face and a name and relatives and many, many other things about this gentleman. I don't know if he's a gentleman, this man. Protesters marched to parliament in the usually warm spring weather, some of them shouting, "We are not scared and Orban resign." You're not scared? That's good. That's good. How many genders are there? Are you scared to say it? Yes, you are. Yeah? Okay. That's one thing. So these guys were organized by a guy called Peter Maggard. Peter Maggard. And we're going to show you who this person is. He's 43 years old. Young and handsome and educated, coming from a good family with a good education, very good, the best education actually. I already looked over his Wikipedia page, I will show you. So yeah, he is the guy who is put forward, activated. Pam, 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 pam. All right, I'm for protesting. If you think something is wrong, go and support your cause, protest, bring arguments, get in debates, and organize. So let me show you who this Peter Maggard is. Here is Mr. Peter Maggard. Handsome guy, beautiful guy, fit looking, right? Right there. He's very, perfect man right there. So he's got at least half of the Hungarian population ready. Correct? Compared with this. Right? Is that what matters? For a lot of people, that's exactly what matters. But not what's in over there and what's in the heart. It matters. And we can go lower, 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 lower. Okay. You understand my little thing. So this versus this. And this reminds me, but no law against being handsome, right? Right. And this reminds me of this guy. You know who this guy is? This is Navalny, another young opposition leader, pushed by the same interests. So this with this, it's like they are models versus this. I think it's funny, but hey, he's over there to do stuff, not to model around. Do you think that's a coincidence? No, it's not. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. They know what they're doing. They know what kind of segment of the population want to attract first. Remember Bill Clinton? Which I don't think he was handsome, young. I think older, he looked better, more presentable. Young, he was like a... But hey, I'm not gonna fuck him, so whatever, you know what I mean? Or maybe do something else, like, what's her name? Zelensky Stein's compatriot, I mean, partner. What's her name? Monica Lewinsky Stein. But anyway, let's go back to Mr. Peter Maggard's Wikipedia so we can find out, because from that one we're going to go to different stuff. You're going to see. You're going to see. So this is the alternative, this handsome lad. And he's handsome and he's smart and he's got the money, he's got everything he needs right here. Born on March 18th, 1981. He's a Hungarian politician and lawyer. Personal life. He met Judith Varga, and she was something in how do you call it? She was something in the I think in the government. I'm gonna go and look over her too. He proposed her. Okay, I was born in Budapest. He's former member of the ruling Fidesz party. So he was a former member of these guys' party. All right. And he met Judy Pop. He proposed to her. Boo. Okay, his family is prominent in Hungarian politics, including a judge and a former president. So he's not a nobody. His grandfather, Paul Eros, was a judge who hosted a popular television program about legal matters. His great-uncle, Ferenc Madl, served as president of Hungary from 2000 to 2005, and his mother worked in the judicial branch. He is very well connected, and I think he is activated. Now, what's over here? Alma Mater, Pázmány Péter Catholic University, is a private university in and near Budapest, Hungary, belonging to the Catholic Church and recognized by the state. Founded in 1635, the PPCU is one of Hungary's oldest and most prestigious institutions of higher education. Not only like that, but also with a diploma and with the family. Now let's see who this Ferenc is. His great uncle, right here. To me, he looks very suspicious. Very suspicious. What's going on, buddy? Anyway, I looked over this guy and I find out that he studied right here between 1961 and 1963. He studied at the Faculty of International Comparative Law of the University of Strasbourg. Now, my Hungarian friends, could you leave Hungary and study over there between 61 and 63 after the Great Revolution, or attempted? 56? Could you? Who was this guy? How did he get there? Anyway, don't ask too many questions. But something interesting that I found is the last word on his Wikipedia page. And that is equity. So for me, that did it. I said, what? What is that? What do you mean equity? That tells me on whose side he is. And I said, okay. And he is a co-chair for the World Justice Project. Okay, let's move on. See what that is. World Justice Project. And we find out that these guys are, taking care of the law. It's like I would say a Davos in the justice system. Global. So I found an interesting name here because it says the top 30 countries for the rule of law according to Papi People. And I found out down here a name right here. Personnel. The World Justice Project Board of Directors include this guy. You know who this guy is? My Romanian friends? That's a fuck up who supposedly brought democracy and helped That's a fuck up. That was a hiccup in Romania. This guy right here. Okay? This guy, a former professor at university, he became the president in 1996-2000, and he was one of the worst presidents. Now, it's not only my opinion. So you go from one thing to another. I tried to find out a connection between these guys, World Justice Project, and Soros, but I didn't look too deep. I didn't find it. I found here the founders. You can look into that. That's good. That's good. So that tells me they're very connected, this handsome lad, very connected with, let's leave it in a beautiful side note. All right, there he is. Look at his little beard trimmed or something just to be over there. So he shows you he's got some testosterone in him. And then we have another handsome lad. All right, my friends, if you think that these things are not picked and promoted, and no. And yeah, protest. I'm all for it. And if you really want to know how much or how effective protests are, just look at France. Look at France and yellow vest protests, which were years. Or look at pension reform in France, which included millions of people. What happened to those protests? Nothing. Why? They were not activated by the right forces. Therefore, they dissipated. But one of them was just destroyed by the mini technicus, what's his name? Brigitte Bardot's little project. Macron. The weasel. Yeah, smart weasel, but he's still a weasel. So Macron, beautiful Macron, he smashed that protest with one decision. He took it from his lawmakers. They were about to vote for the pension reform. Give it to me. Sign it, gave it further, and it was constitutional. It was constitutional. So you can protest how the fuck much you want. If the right forces are not pushing the Maidan, then it's not going to be a successful regime change. So wait, this is another attempt for Orban to be put to rest with that handsome lad. Very well connected and very educated at a Catholic school. I wonder when he's going to be asked, if he's going to be asked, hey, what do you think about the genders? What about this? What about that? What do you think he's going to say? I tell you what he's going to say. He's going to do some mental gymnastics. That's what he's going to do. He is a smart guy. He's 43, handsome and connected. Good job, Hungary. Now that's the new Navalny for Hungary. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.